them sentry is shooting the wall, okay, you can push. You can be aggressive.
Great point. Well, let's go ahead and move on to one of our more veteran teams, actually, in Boilerbot from Purdue University. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Welcome back, Purdue. Y'all have been here, what is this, your third year at RMUL?
Yeah, it is also you coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back. Introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, what year you are in school, what you do on the team.
All right, I'll probably start first. My name is Ichiryu, or you can just call me Dio. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering, and I'm the president of Robomaster Club at Purdue.
Hey, I'm Tom. I am a junior, so an incoming senior. I run the algorithm team, so I work with like CV, navigation, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Tom, navigation, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I just leaked something.
Yeah,
oh man, that's kind of tough. I didn't say that much. I just said I work on navigation. I'm not giving any clues.
Oh boy.
This interview, buddy.
You made a mistake. Preston's going to take this and run with it now.
I am.
You just gave him all the ammo.
My name's Preston. I was like an 8th-year senior, and my job on Robomasters now is to try to get people to talk about the robots before they're ready. Tom, navigation indicates, right, the autonomous motion of your sentry, which I think last year we only saw CU really even attempt. They got it working a little bit. You got anything you want to speak towards? Are you trying to make your sentry follow robots? Are you having it just run a couple, like, sentry is the name of the bot, but sentry patrols, right, where it's just kind of hovering between two zones? What you got?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much I want to like explain right now. A lot is like still in the works actually. We're probably planning on discussing strategy like pretty soon.
Fine.
Right now the main focus is just getting like the standard like typical sentry navigation working. So like point and click. I guess like point A to point B type navigation. But I think if time permits it, we'd definitely like to see like some more advanced navigation going on, maybe something like you're describing. But that might be a little difficult considering the time constraint that we have.
All right, Tom.
I don't know. Yeah.
Listen up. I get to give lots of advice to new teams, and I rarely ever get to give. Here's what I want to see. No one's done it yet.
Yeah, done. Yeah, let's see.
I think it would just break the game. Save it, and then here's how I picture it. You're in the quarterfinals. It's you versus like a UW or a TAMU or a VT or an NUS. I don't know. Somebody you're a little nervous about. Like you're like, oh, this could go either way. Just have a like aggressive mode in your sentry where it just drives straight into their side of the base and just stops. Like you don't have to worry about navigating. You don't have to do navigation at all. You know exactly what the map looks like. You just program that thing to drive forward X units, turn left, go this way, go that way. You are now planted in the middle of their base, and it just starts going. Your drivers know that that's going to happen in this certain game. You punch the big red scary button, and then suddenly, right, you're back there in their base, 3v3. I think it'd be wildly successful in one match. I think you'd have to save it, and then once they know it happened, they'd wait. But if you do in that first match, the other team is going to send at least one standard around, you know what I'm saying, to come in and poke some shots across the wall. So you'll probably be in a 3v2, maybe
going to have to
3v1
respond to that.
situation. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll keep that in my toolbox. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, it's like when I tell the new teams to build some like Deadman.
Keep that in mind. You can bring it up.
Yeah. I'll try to get
maybe we'll bring this up in a future prediction stream when we can discuss like the meta and other strategies going forward. But I want to hear y'all's opinion. Y'all are a veteran team. Oh yeah, for sure. I want to know what was y'all's experience like at RMU UL last year, in 2023 in Washington. It was your second year competing.
No problem. Let me just reiterate, Stephen, they can't hear you. But Stephen just wanted to know how your time was at the University of Washington. Second year. Give us, like, obviously you're going to say it was amazing because it was amazing. But maybe, the goods and then maybe one takeaway. Was there anything that you changed strategy-wise, robot-wise, team-wise, going from year 2 to year 3 because of how year 2 went?
Yeah, you want to talk about it, or I could as well?
Yeah, I think we can both talk about it.
Sure, yeah.
From my point of view, last year we did moderately well, but it's a lot of disappointment. Seeing that we are not fully prepared, at least for the competition, right? Because, I think I just hear Steven for a second. Okay, I'll just continue.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you guys all watched the recording. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I always love watching the videos back.
Well, I hear some echo.
Watching the stream by chance?
That's weird.
I am not. No,
I'll try fixing the audio so y'all can hear me. Y'all can go ahead and answer the question though.
Yeah, I think I heard echo.
It was good first stream, I think. Yeah.
Okay, quarterfinal, I think. Yeah. And we try to fix the robot within the timeout. However, we just prepared for that. So and robot-wise, and prepare people for any of the mistake, any of the breakdown of the robot. That's just fine from my point of view. I'm pretty sure Tom has something else to add.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I remember that happening. I remember in terms of our sentry, we had an attempt at auto aiming, and it was deployed, but we had some problems. I remember it would see a robot and it would end up kind of tic-tacking back and forth, and it wouldn't really lock on. And I remember a couple times, I don't know what was going on, but the sentry would just start firing at the walls, and it would just not. So hopefully we don't see that again. In Seattle, we didn't have any tables. Our team didn't have a table, and then I look over at CU, and they had this massive wooden operations station.
We have that ready.
And
that makes sense.
It was fantastic. So
No,
I don't know.
Those are great
pretty
points.
fun.
I really like the point that you think about, because you're working so hard to finish the robots in time.
Yeah.
But something that stuck out to me watching some of the RMUC, the top tier Chinese teams, is watching them practice. Oh, y'all are practicing that. That's not just it happens, right? Prep period, and they've got little index cards with signs on them.
Transitions are just so clean.
All the functionality of the robots, and yeah, I mean, it's like a triathlon, right? You have to practice the individual sec.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the right take, right? And you had robots that did pretty well, but you understand that your team can do much better, and I agree. I'm excited to kind of see where you guys go this year. If you don't want to tell me what your team is doing, you could just talk to me strategy-wise. So, double standard versus standard hero.
Why don't we have both?
Bring 3 driven robots, 2 standards and 1 hero. I think that's a great option. Are you anticipating? So I know there are plenty of teams that are planning to do that. I'm aware of some teams that are thinking about bringing like a balancing standard, a normal standard, and a hero, and kind of seeing how everything shakes out. I am hoping, what I have always dreamed of for RMUL, and maybe where Leo is going here, is I want to see teams draft. I want to see you show up and you're like, okay, next on the schedule we've got NUS. Okay, cool. We've watched their previous games. This is a game where it's going to be mostly robot skirmishing. Let's throw in 2 standards.
We made and then you put a PP over here this year.
Heck yeah. That'd be so cool. And then you play like VT, right? And you're like, okay, VT likes to burn down the bases with the hero. We're going to have to match. We're going to have to do damage to a base because we know they're going to do damage to our base. Bring in the hero, right? And kind of swap them in, swap them out. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, I think that's a great
one question that I want to ask is
bring both.
I think
yeah, no, I agree. The question that I want to ask is what are your goals for this new competition, this new year? Like long term, short term, what are your goals?
Did y'all hear Steven? He asked
no, I can't hear him.
Oh, okay, no problem. He was just asking what your goal was for 2024, and I thought you were building suspense before you told us that your goal was to win. Just valid.
I'll try to work on that, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, sure. So I have a couple like personal goals that also like relate to the team. I really want to see our Sentry doing well. I've had a lot of like my team members get off. Time in the timeouts and make sure that if we have a problem, we're able to actually identify and fix it on time. And then I don't know. I think those are so let's finish off with this.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt. Let me dive right in between the two of you.
Go ahead.
Because I want to highlight and reinforce, and to any of the teams that watch this later, we get a lot of like not concurrent views because of all the time zones of everyone, but like after post views. I love that Tom brought up that one of the goals for comp was to improve like member retention and build those new members. Having members attend comp and get to reap the rewards of a year of effort is huge. And I think for a lot of teams who haven't attended RMUL, or like maybe it just hasn't been discussed in their own leadership who has attended RMUL, my very strong opinion is that the members that attend RMUL are the members that stick on your team and are willing to fill leadership positions, because it eats your life. Like building 3 robots and then 4 robots if you want to have 3 standards and a hero, and then maybe you think about doing China and now you're building 7 or 8
and the
robots,
knowledge transfer too.
It becomes very time consuming, and it takes a special kind of member to be willing to move into those leadership type positions. So I love that, Tom. I think that's a great goal.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I think a lot of teams have that problem with member retention, and I know like from my own experience, especially, I joined the team as a freshman, and I didn't really do like a ton my first year until I went to my first competition.
Yeah.
And I think as you were saying, that kind of got me hooked. So that's kind of why I was saying that.
It's a good part. Right?
Yeah.
You have members that you ask to bake all day, every day. You just let them cook, and then they never get to have cake. And you're like, okay, will you bake another cake next year? And they're like, nah, this sucked. And engineering's hard. Like it's not it's not like they're not busy.
Like
they've got
you got to balance your coursework, and then you want me to build a robot that has all these complexities involved along with that. It's like, oh man, you're insane.
Sorry.
You're good, Leo. Go ahead. What's your more ambitious goal? I think maybe you're hearing Steven on a delay. Based on your facial expression.
With delay, or his voice just sometimes comes in. Maybe if that helps, you can probably ask what he said to us, and then so we just have to talk to you.
He was just giving a solid amen to what had been said, and we were transitioning right to Leo, your kind of your goals for the team for the season or for the year.
Our team goal is slightly more ambitious. Yeah, we want to really get a solid top 3, if possible, and for the champion.
I love it. Give me your prediction. Give me a. Let's just. You're the president of your team. I understand. Yeah. So Purdue number 1. Let's give me the next 3. All right. I think that's the right answer. It's your team. It's before the competition. Don't even sit here and let's go Purdue number 1. Give me 2, 3, and 4.
I think it's gonna be UW and TAMU, and then probably UIUC or VT, depending on the goal of UIUC. Because they are going back to China this year. I'm not sure how much effort they were actually putting to MUL, which is a very realistic question to ask.
I don't know. They can't even get me in trouble anymore. So I know A&M is also going to China this year for the first time in like 5 years. So I have my doubts. I haven't been involved with the team much this year. I finished my master's, and so I have been working full time for the last year or so. But I feel similarly to you about UIUC. I have the same questions about A&M. Okay, you're going back to China for the first time. The first time you go back is so hard. They've got to figure out getting there. I mean, all the things that all the teams understand is difficult, right? There's more robots, sure, but also like visas and housing, and then getting your school to say it's okay, and then like finding members. And then do you really have 20 members that can go to China for 2.5 weeks in the summer and 10 members that can go to Colorado for in the summer? So I hear your picks. I'm just giving you my perspective. I love the UW, number 2 UW. So if we're going number 1 Purdue, number 2 UW, number 3 A&M, I think there might be some spice this year. I think this is the year we might see A&M kind of fall from grace, get knocked down a little bit. I think we might see. I don't know how UT's doing this year, but they've been climbing. Their trajectory has been strong. They were with you guys 2 years ago, right, on Putter?
Yep.
And they did well with y'all. And then last year they competed by themselves, and I was really impressed before the competition. They came to A&M and they 1v1 scrimmed, and I was like, dang, that looks good. So I don't know. I think y'all have a very legitimate shot based on your robots and your performance and talking with you guys, and then also
speaking of 1v1 scrims,
y'all haven't.
One thing that I want to know, because Purdue has been talking for. They've been here for 2 years now, 3 years, going on 3 years, and they've started hosting the Midwest Conference. I want to know how that has been, trying to host your own competition and just the organization that goes behind it, all the logistics, and trying to get all these teams. Tell us about that and how that's been going.
He wants to know about the Midwest Conference. Give us a synopsis. It's going well. It's just a lot of added stress. You've been loving it. How is it doing, kind of like a miniature host?
All right, yeah. So the Midwest Conference is going really well. So last year we had 4 participants, including ourselves. This year we grew that number to 6.
Yeah.
So a lot of very familiar teams, Virginia Tech, UIUC, right, are joining with us this year, and we think of it as a platform, right? We are not actually trying to host like a regional competition for teams to compete and know who's the best team like Midwest. However, we're trying to build a platform where teams can actually share the difficulty, right? Some breakthrough, if they like. So this year we actually incorporate a team kind of conference format. So team will actually showcase their strategy, right? Some of the breakthrough in mechanical, electrical, right? Control-wise, computer vision-wise. A lot of teams actually share some of the very useful stuff for the other team to learn. So we're trying to really build up that connection between all the Midwest teams. Besides that, we're also giving teams a chance to actually have like a checkpoint before the actual MUL competition, right? They have a goal, they have a deadline before MUL to be like, okay, we at least need to get 1 robot done to participate in the 1v1 competition that Purdue hosts. So that's our goal. We're trying to set up like a platform for teams to encourage them to share information, to not try to open source everything, but at least we can be a little more friendly in a conference kind of setting.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, 100% agree with everything you've said. I feel like those little scrims that A&M and UT did helped A&M a lot last year. There's a huge amount of benefit that comes from those scrims. And like we were just, I don't know, because y'all were getting ready for your interview with this one, I don't know if you got to hear all of our talk with SFU, one of the new teams. But when they showed me their standard, and immediately I said, hey, that looks really tall, right? Like I was a standard team lead for 4 years. I was like, bro, that looks big. I said, is your turret really short? And they said, oh, we just kind of realized that maybe it's too tall for the rules, so we're working on it. Things like that are caught really fast when someone says, hey, you have to pass inspection to compete, you know? And yeah, it's a huge benefit. Props to you guys. Great job helping the RMNA community just in general. Every team that plays better makes it more enjoyable, makes it funner, and also it just makes the region kind of keeps us hopefully kicking around the brains of RMOC and keeping them on notice that at some point, I mean, this year, who knows? Maybe A&M or UIUC or one of these teams goes over there and does something special over in China. But y'all are definitely helping kind of grow the sport, as it were, and we appreciate that. Steven, if you have a final question, and then maybe I'll ask one final strategy question, see if I can get them to share anything else before we let them go tonight.
Nothing to spill a few more beans. I guess my final question would just be, my final question would probably just be, you already talked about it a little bit, your individual goals, but what are some just like personal things outside of the competition you're looking forward to doing at Colorado this year?
Are you guys doing anything fun in Colorado this year? Y'all make any plans to? I mean, I'm thinking about taking my mountain bike with me, and it's Colorado. It's got some fun stuff. Any extracurricular plans for the team or as an individual?
Mountain biking is a good idea. I don't know why my mind went to this, but I've heard, at least in the RMNA Discord server, people are making like some funny bets about like, you know, if like a certain team plays well, then they'll like take an ice bath or like something along those lines. I don't know why my mind went there, but I think there are definitely some like funny like bets and stuff like that I'll be partaking in, whether it be like an ice bath or something. I think internally, Purdue Leads have made a couple bets like that, but I don't know like how formal they are, so we'll see what happens there. But I don't know. I always like traveling. Like I had a fun time in Seattle, like just going around downtown and exploring. So I think I'll definitely end up enjoying Boulder, kind of like that. But I don't know, Leo. You got anything?
Yeah, we'll have some parties and have dinners. Probably go hiking as well.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, final question for me. What do we want to talk about? You said you'll probably bring both robots. Your Sentry. Ooh, this is not my final question. I'm just asking. Are you doing side by side or vertical barrels on your Sentry?
Side by side.
Side by side with vertical flywheels. Then. Okay. I like it. Y'all sticking with classic Mectum wheels?
Actually, no. So
new wheels? What are you doing?
Swerve drive.
Swerve. Dang. Okay. On all of them? On all the bots?
No.
We'll see. All right. No, I love it. I think I'm gonna be honest. Chatting with you guys, I think y'all have a good direction as a team. Getting to chat with, we've done now 3 years of these preseason podcasts and stuff. So I've gotten to interview and chat with a lot of the presidents of orgs, and they've all been wonderful. But you can tell a lot about kind of. I use it a lot as the predictor. I hope y'all do pretty well this year. Y'all seem like you've identified the areas you should be working on. I think you've already started to think about a lot of the right stuff. So that's great. Set your sights high. I think y'all have got a shot. My one piece of advice, it's the same thing I told SFU, is get someone on your team to watch matches. Last year we had a TV in the pit that should have been showing the stream. You can always use your phone. You can always just have someone in person watching them. Really, really frequently, there are things that I watch as a commentator, and I'm like, dang, if anyone from the other team was watching this, they'd have this team dead to rights. Like, it's so obvious, right, that this issue or this problem or new strats, right, that teams are pulling out. So that's my final advice. And then my final question for you guys going into the 2024 season is, what are you most proud of on your robots? We've talked a lot about the people, which I think is the correct way to approach a team. But mechanically or software-wise, you don't have to get specific. But what it can be reliability, it could be like a new feature, it could be, what is it this year that you're like, ooh, I know Tom said maybe it's the aiming accuracy, right? Being able to finish off full robot kills with a sentry. What is it that you guys are looking forward to watch from your own participation?
Say something, or should I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think, well, I'm really biased because I just do software. So the thing that I really want to see is the full integration. We've had a lot of the parts laid out, but we haven't had the chance to actually integrate everything. So navigation, aiming, decision making. So I'm really hoping that that's something that we can actually get working. Because I think individually each one of those things is really, really cool. And it takes a lot of people and a lot of time to actually get them working, even by itself. But a harder task is actually taking everything and integrating it, making them all work together, talk together, because it's a complex system. So being able to navigate, avoid obstacles, and also be able to target enemies and handle that is kind of a big task. But I'm really hoping that we can see that come to fruition. But there's my biased software
hardware for us. So. Anything you're just stoked to see?
Anything in hardware?
I don't know, Leo, or do you come from a hardware side?
Yeah, that would be a Leo thing. I don't know how much I want to say with that.
Yeah, don't be like, oh, dude, our supercasts are super good. I want to see them. It's gonna be
okay, yeah. So I mean, it's still a month from the actual competition, so we still have a lot of things currently working on. So there's no promises. I don't want to be saying something and end up not having it at the competition. But I would say, so our team is divided into 4 kind of stuff. So mechanical, electrical, control, and algorithm, which is dealing with the computer vision and navigation. I would say we have a little bit between every of the team. So very likely, you will find surprises on all the mechanical, electrical, control, and computer vision side. So I would say our team's progress this year are pretty promising. If everything works out pretty well, and hopefully we can showcase our ability in all of the respective areas. So mechanically wise, we have some changes in mechanical system. Something that's not really traditional. I want to say probably a realistic launching. So of the hero robot, I can't say much.
Okay. No, that's great.
Electrical system. We're working on the super cab. I don't think this is a secret. A lot of things we're working on that. So we'll try to see that deployed and actually working. So wise, we are working on. We already covered the computer vision, and it's working. Hopefully, we can start deploying and actually having it work. This year.
Great. Yeah, the hero tends to be where there's a lot of innovation space for feeding and for launching and for loading, because it's I've seen some crazy stuff for heroes, so it's exciting. I'll keep an eye out. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I have absolutely loved chatting with y'all. I'm really excited to see y'all at the competition. Hopefully all of the robots from every team work at their best, so we can kind of see this clash of titans. But it sounds like y'all are on a path, and still, a month out, you feel pretty confident that you'll have some high functioning robots, which is super exciting. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for taking some time this evening, and
great.
Good luck in 2024.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for hosting us.
Not a problem. You guys take care. Preston, I am so excited, man.
Last year interviews made me hyped for UT. I don't know if you guys, you know what? The people that are watching this year probably watched last year. It's probably the same 10 people. Hello, 10 people. You're my favorite people. The very best. Last year I was stoked on UT. They showed up at our 1v1. I watched all the robots. And then we got to comp, and they had some technical issues, which every team does. And then NUS really became like this, wow, super surprise, like Cinderella story, first-year team kind of crushing it, right? This year, obviously Purdue, not a first-year team, but hasn't finished in the top 3 yet.
Gotten close.
If I recall correctly, at least not as an independent team. Gotten close. Yeah, they've been right on the cusp. But it sounds like they're working on everything. It sounds like they've considered strategy. I want to see drafts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I want to see the mix up, change up. I want to see teams putting in and out balancing standards, in and out heroes. I want to see teams swapping it. I want to see the best of 5. I want to see best of 5 switch ups, Steven. I want to see.
We got a best of 5 and swap out robots.
Yep, in between matches. That's what I want to see. I want to see Purdue start with hero standard, then they lose round 1, and they swap out their hero first standard and go standard.
With the level of teams that we're getting this year, I think you may get your wish.
That'd be so cool. It would add a whole nother layer to the strategy. And then if that's what happens in the years to come, I want teams to have like a secret box where they put down cards or something. We don't have to do a box. Where they declare right at the beginning of the match, each round, what robots they're going to put on the field, and then they have to field those 3 robots. That way, it's like a mind game, and you're like, ooh, what if UW puts out their double standard? Yeah, and then you kind of have to predict, right? So your draft kind of has to become a little bit more like, okay, last game they won.
I would just add another level.
They run it back. Yeah, it'd be freaking crazy. It'd be crazy. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us and putting up with some of our technical difficulties. Maybe this way we'll get them all out in the preseason, and by the time we start streaming actual robots, it'll just be glorious butter smoothness. So
that's what I'm hoping for. And join us next week. We are interviewing more teams. Next week we have Purdue. Not Purdue. We have CU and Texas A&M. So it's going to be a fun stream.
That's a banger. Yeah. All right, y'all have a good night.
All right. We'll see y'all next time.